Good morning.
It's great to have you here on Stitch Along Friday
Yes.
for Victoria Sampler.
Yeah.
Actually, this group is the group that we're doing the stream from is only for the Victoria Sampler designs, and it is amazing the creativity that is going on here.
Absolutely.
So I'm just
Mhm.
delighted. I don't know, but we had a talk about that the other day as far
Yes.
as how it all about how it feels to be doing your own designing with someone else's designs, kind of like a coloring book
Yes.
kind of effect.
Yeah.
And yes,
Paint by number, but not
Yeah.
really no numbers.
but you're choosing your own colors, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first of all, what did you do this week? You've been doing so much.
I've been doing a lot. I've been counting inventory just to see where we are and that kind of stuff.
I know, and there's so many good things.
There
right?
are so many good things that we can use up in the future, so that's kind of good.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else have I been doing? I've been working on getting together the PDF copies of A Year in Stitches.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing so well that we've been able to manage to get up March, April, May.
Yes.
So far,
So far.
January, February, March, April, May.
Yeah.
So we're way ahead of the game now,
Yeah.
which is great. If you want an individual pattern, there they are. There's one. March is there. And we print, or actually,
Yeah.
Lisa printed them out. There's
Yes.
March, and there's April, which is like so soon. We are in March right now, so it's kind of nice to have them in advance.
Absolutely.
And then there's, sorry.
Yeah, we want more
No,
fingers.
it's okay. And there is May, which is going to be gorgeous. And I don't think I have June here, which is fine because we don't
not
really
ready
have it up yet. That's right. Oh, it looks like there's lots of people here.
A few people joining us, so that's great.
Nice. Let's say hello to everyone, shall we? Hello, Pat.
Hi,
Henke.
Pat.
You were first.
Yeah. Trisha.
Hello.
Hola, Marley.
I don't know why I keep thinking that you're Marty, but you're Marley.
Marley.
And I think the L just, and then there's a dot beside it. So I guess it sort of blends in. Sorry, my bad eyesight.
You're not wearing the right glasses.
Oh, I think I am. It's just a little small, and I've got. I had laser surgery this last week.
Oh, you did do that?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So I had cataract surgery, and that was all very successful, really good, wonderful. And then apparently, with some people, with a lot of people, the cataract grows back a little bit around each eye, and apparently mine did. So he said, "Oh, let's just do the laser thing." Oh no!
And you weren't expecting that, but good thing I drove you.
I know, because usually I drive myself.
You do, yeah.
And I put on my big dark glasses to drive home carefully. But I thought I remembered something might happen, and so it was a good thing. So now there's a whole bunch of floaters left in, which
are a little disturbing.
I think so. Maybe Marley and a floater go together. Look, there's Lynn Burton.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
Agne.
Agne, that's right. Very nice. Good evening to you. Carol Reed.
Hello.
And good morning to you, Francesca.
Buonasera.
Francesca.
Yeah.
And Marcia Buckingham. Good morning from Dallas. Oh, well, it'll be nice to have some rain. Hello, Cheryl, Brenda, and Cece.
Yep.
Have we met Cece?
We have.
We have. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
I remember saying the same thing before. So
you have.
Hello.
You did. Yes. Not too long ago, actually. Could have been last week.
Exactly. And look, if some more people have come on board. Hello, Vicky.
Jean, Tammy.
And let's see. What's Tammy?
Phone internet issues.
Aw. Well, that's okay, Tammy. Yeah. Keep shopping. Lynn Molitor's here from sunny South Florida. This week has been very unsettling. I think that not only have we got a lot of things going on in the world, which I know you're all feeling in one way or another. Yes. It is not easy to experience this in our lifetime, to have this feeling that someone is getting so badly hurt over in Ukraine. I did want to mention it, but this is not a stream for the Ukrainian people. But if there's anyone listening who is or has Ukrainian friends or whatever, my heart goes out to you. I'm sure yours does too.
Absolutely.
It's a terrible thing when bullies rule the world, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say on the subject, but I didn't want to go through this whole thing, and because I keep thinking about it here and there, and
Yeah.
it's just really upsetting. The second thing that happened to me was I got diverticulitis, and
Yes.
that's a very personal thing.
Yeah.
But
That started last week.
it started on Friday morning last week. We
Mm-hmm.
were right in the middle of it, and I wasn't feeling well. Remember, I kind of
Yeah.
cut it short at the end.
Yeah.
I was actually starting to feel kind of woozy. So it was a good thing I did. I got a fever and I got a lot of pain and stuff, but I had antibiotics. I was going to say
Antidepressants.
antidepressants.
They might work the same.
Oh, the good. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Anyway, the 7 days went by, and this is my sixth day of antibiotics, and so I'm feeling a lot better for
Mm-hmm.
sure. But I just wanted you to know that last week I shut it down quickly. And thank you, Dorothy. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Yes, I do feel quite a bit better. Thank you.
Yeah.
Louisa Sharp is here, and Aurelia Bonelli, Bonzara, Italia. I'm so bad.
Yeah.
I want to do
Yeah.
this. Anyway, Renee Cleveland, Diane Mertisdorf, hello. Nancy Pritting, Sandra De Leon, hello. Sure hope you're feeling good. Becky Klaga is here from Nebraska. And Patricia Rideout. Gosh, there's a lot of us
Jennifer,
here.
Joanne, Margaret, they keep on coming in. So
It's
welcome,
wonderful.
welcome.
Thank you, Cece. Yeah, the thing about that kind of the thing that I've got is once you get it, you are, or actually,
You're
once you get
prone.
it, you're then already in the stage where you're going to be prone in the future.
Yeah.
And it was my fault. I just want you to know. I know what I did, and I don't know what it is. I had it last year, as I said to you. I couldn't.
Yep.
It wasn't in my mind at all. So I did the wrong things,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the kind of things that I should never have done. I won't go into it. But anyway, it was that was one of the big wake up calls. Is I just cannot behave like that anymore. I
You can't eat certain things.
I just can't, and I have to
Mhm.
remember it in
Yeah.
the brain. So I'm really grateful that there is such a thing as antibiotics, but I do feel so much better. I can't believe how sick I got this time, though.
Mm,
I don't think it gets better every time you get it.
probably not. No.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Margaret Andrews here. Joanna Torzen. Did you already say hello to Joanna? I think you
I
did.
think so.
Hello, Joanna.
Yeah. Margaret.
Judy, good to see you.
Yeah.
Been there, done that with diverticulitis. My daughter calls it diverticulala, which I think is kind of fun. But you're right, it isn't fun, and everyone has their own, story. And you ended up in the hospital for 2
weeks. Well, thank
Whoa.
goodness you didn't have that happen.
No, it's going to
Mhm.
really make me sit up and take notice that
Yeah.
one. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing that with me. Thank you. Kathleen Yonts is just popping in to say hello. Okay, so
Yeah.
you won't stay. All right, say hi to your son for me.
Enjoy your lunch out.
Yeah, sounds really nice. Louisa Sharps is glad to hear you had your cataract surgery. Makes a big difference. It does,
Yeah.
absolutely. But that laser surgery, it went over really quickly.
Yeah, it would be. I think I just got back to the office when you called to say come and get me. So it's like, okay, I should have just stayed downtown.
And what they do, I had no idea. This laser surgery, he put something in my eye so that I was like caught, that my eye was caught.
Right.
And I had to look a certain way the whole time. And then he just went bing, 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 bing with this laser thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was done. Like, I think each eye took like not even a minute.
Couple of minutes, maybe.
Yeah. So thank you, Dorothy. Thea, I had diverticulitis. I had a rupture. IV antibiotics.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, they did tell me that if it didn't get better, I'd better go to the hospital. So I think that's something that I was very aware of. So I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, that sounds
you and
very
Jennifer.
painful.
Jean Inglis is
Yeah.
here. Thank you. Ellen Meldrum, thank you, Ellen. And also
Cynthia, hello.
here, good. I am the same. I've had IBS, change of eating habit. That's for sure. Got to do it.
Yeah.
And normally, I'm fine.
You are, absolutely.
I just had this moment where I thought, oh, I can eat like this again.
Yeah, no.
And there's Louise Fossa, Gail Stetler, and Liz Loper. So good to see you all here. And it looks to me like we've got our regulars and we've got a few people that are newer.
Yeah.
So nice to have you all here. Thank you. So that's all the news that I can think of for the
Yeah.
last week. I can't think of anything else.
No,
Can you?
weeks start blending into one another. That's like
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. We discussed a new pattern that I'm
we just
considering.
discussed a new pattern. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And
And
I like the idea. I'm gonna see if we have any more of that fabric so I can make
a
a
mock-up.
mock-up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of doing a drum pincushion,
Mm-hmm.
which will be, well, you know what a drum pincushion looks like, but they're usually made for kind of like mm, folk art, kind
Folk
of
art with felt and
colonial
yeah.
style,
Mm-hmm.
those kinds
Mm-hmm.
of with bigger anyway. So I'll do my own version,
Yeah.
and Lisa will finish her way
That's
too,
right.
and it'll look
Yes.
a little less colonial and country, and look a lot more like Victoria Sampler.
We hope so. Yes.
So I'm excited because
Yeah.
remember I've been telling you I've been working on cryptocurrency and blah blah blah, and I'll tell you it is a slog, but we got through it. We set up our portfolio. It is working, and both Richard and I said, okay, now we can go do other things.
Mm-hmm.
We still have
Mm-hmm.
to monitor a lot,
Yeah.
but and bookkeep. But generally speaking, we've learned enough so that we can manipulate everything that we need to. And thank goodness for that, because
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
was really like not my first love, I tell you.
No, no,
But
yeah,
you have to learn a lot before you can do something like that
yeah,
and feel comfortable,
yeah,
because it's
yes.
all risk taking, right? So that can happen. Ah, and it looks like Katrina Middleton is here. Hello, thank
Hello.
you. Thank you, Katrina. And Kathy Monk, hello. Good to see you. And Lisbeth says morning, but I thought you always had lunch with us.
Well, she is saying morning to us though, because
Oh,
she
morning
knows.
to us.
Yes, she
Okay.
knows where it is morning for us. So.
Jennifer Chung, hello. Good to see you. And Jennifer McEwen, good morning, wonderful lady. So what we're, oh yes, talking about the drum
Yep.
pincushion.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
Pincushion.
Yeah.
I think that I will spend a little bit of time this weekend just playing around with
Mm-hmm.
it, and
Mm-hmm.
thinking of the way that it could look. And if you play around with the finishing aspect, we
Yeah.
can get together and see where everything would go, because that shape lends
Yeah.
itself to a certain kind of design, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just do like a sampler where you see everything all at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
I think it has to tell a story as you go around. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a merry-go-round tells a
Yeah.
story. As it goes around, you see different things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
I could do a merry-go-round. No.
Yeah.
I'm just going on. I don't think it means anything.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do horses.
No.
That's
No.
not my style. Taffy Soderholm, hello there. Serena, hello. I'm still homeless from the fire. Ugh.
Ooh. Wow.
I'm at a great hotel and doing well. This is good. And it sounds like you're grateful also, which I know when you're disrupted from your home, doesn't matter how lovely the hotel is, it is difficult to be away from all of your
Yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely.
My stitching friends have given me so much joy and encouragement. Ah, if you are a stitcher, you're one fortunate person. Love and hugs to all. Thanks for the Friday stitching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Serena, you just have such a positive attitude. I think you're amazing, because going through that can be very, very challenging.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I'd go crazy without having my, go-to place to grab everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually have two go-to places to grab things. At
I
home
have like
and here.
Yeah, you do. I have like 500 things. Elizabeth, yes, that's what she says. Oh, I think she's saying that because of the
Yes.
idea of doing a design all the way around.
No, I think it's because she's saying morning because she knows we're morning.
Well, then which one is it, Liz?
Yeah.
What are you saying yes to?
And
Thank
Patricia.
you, Patricia.
Yes.
That's very sweet of you. I do think that it's going to be fun to do a design for the first time in
something
how
different.
long?
Oh.
When did I do Grateful Heart? I can't quite remember, but I think it was around this time of year.
Last spring?
Yeah, I think so. Because
think
that
it's
was the
only-
last main design, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
And
so.
I have missed
Mhm.
designing a lot, but I've also enjoyed having the break, believe it or
Yeah.
not. At first
You needed it.
I was like addicted, where
Yeah.
is it? I can't
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
stitch, or I can't not design. And then I kind of got used to it, and I thought, wow, that's what it feels like to actually watch TV.
And it's not that you haven't been designing, because you've been doing the creative patterns. So you kind of still have been designing. You
True.
just haven't been stitching it as you
That's
design.
that's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much stitching I can do because the hands,
Mm-hmm.
but they're feeling pretty good now. So
Well,
as
they've
long
had
as
a long rest.
yeah, and massages,
And
regular
massages,
massages.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully the hands will hold up and I don't overdo it. If I stitch 8 hours like I used to,
Yeah.
that's not a good
No,
idea.
no. You have to do a couple hours here, a couple hours there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know whether you all stitched the same amount that I did, but I really did.
You did.
At big long
Absolutely.
stretches. It's
Mm-hmm.
like being a painter, you're painting and you get into it, or you're
Mm-hmm.
stitching and you get
Mm-hmm.
into what are you going to
Mm-hmm.
do next, and I could hardly
Yeah.
wait till I decided, okay, like that would work and that not, etc. So it was kind of all consuming and addictive. But having a whole year off, it's been like a whole different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
look back on it now and I
Mm-hmm.
wonder, how did I do that?
Yeah. Yes.
But I think that
Yeah.
comes with age too, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling you're not quite there. I think that you would rather do more rather than less, but you're like a
Yeah.
little younger than me.
I think I'm yearning to do more creative things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like last weekend, I spent time in my sewing room, which
And you
was,
stitch too.
and I did stitch. And I've actually stitched all this week, morning and night, except for this morning I did.
You know what? I was
Mhm.
talking to Lisa
Mhm.
yesterday, and
Mhm.
her husband makes dinner for her.
He does now that he's retired.
The reason that I'm mentioning it is, guess
Uh-huh.
what she does? She comes home and doesn't have to stop at the grocery store anymore.
No.
She comes
No.
home and she stitches.
Yes.
Like immediately.
Yep, pretty much.
Isn't that amazing?
I do changed out of my work clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
First.
the fact that I heard that, I thought, oh my God, you mean you can come home and not have to cook or anything?
He's pretty darn good.
And apparently
Yeah.
he makes his own plans and goes grocery shopping
Goes
himself.
grocery shopping now, which he would, before he retired, would never even think. He used to go when we first got together 34 years ago, we'd go grocery shopping together. But that kind of disappeared after a couple of years. And so I've been grocery shopping on my own for the last 32 years. So
Can you believe it? Anyway, I know that you'll all empathize and probably feel a little jealous. I certainly do.
Yeah.
I didn't have any idea that a person could change that much.
Oh yeah.
It like if he had been cooking all along, I would have gone, yeah, whatever. But
no.
like you say, he hasn't been. Anyway.
I mean, they're not gourmet meals or anything. But
Okay.
Hey. Don't get too excited. And there's only so many bacon and tomato sandwiches someone could have in a week.
But hey, bacon's good.
And tomatoes.
And I can't eat bacon. Margaret Mellinson says, hello, everyone. I don't usually catch you live. Good. Nice to see you. It's really great to have you here live. Margaret and Pat Henke says, I used to sit at the sewing machine 8 to 12 hours.
Wow.
But you can't do that anymore. I get that. Louisa says, my hubby took over the kitchen when he retired, too. He does the grocery shopping, too.
Yeah.
Is this a thing? I had no idea. I'm going to have to find out if maybe Richard will start cooking. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Do I want to eat what he's cooking? I don't know. Marty says, hello all, my cast is off.
Oh, yay.
I'm doing so much better. Thank you for telling us. So happy. Arm is still sensitive and tender.
Yeah.
This is so good. You can use 2 hands to stitch.
Yeah.
Gently though, right? Take it easy. And I'm going to try and get caught up over the weekend. Last part of Stitch was part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we are this week we are on part 9.
Part 9?
Part 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yay you is right. Yay you. I'm so happy for you. That is a big deal. Dorothy Wendell says, I saw a Facebook post by a lady on an embroidery forum that said she would never do a boring cross stitch. She liked doing real embroidery.
Oh.
And apparently cross stitch is not real embroidery. That ruffled my feathers, but since I'm not the argumentative type, I just scrolled past with smoke coming from my ears. It's amazing. I think what she's really saying is that she doesn't like just doing cross stitch or maybe little cross stitch. And there are people that really, they just do a hard hanger.
I had almost the same thing happen to me when I was at the Framers.
Did you?
And a lady came in and she goes, Oh, yeah, that's okay. But I don't do cross stitch. I like to do more detailed work. And she pulled out this ugly canvas. And it's like, okay, good for you. But
We all have things that we love to
yeah,
do, and for someone to say they don't like it is
absolutely.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
As long as their whole attitude isn't, well, then you shouldn't be doing it too.
yeah, yeah. You don't turn your nose down at somebody
Exactly.
for
Way to go.
what they're doing.
As Jennifer says, you go, Lisa.
Yeah.
Sylvie Thibodeau says, I made it on time before the end. Yay!
Yep, yay.
Oh, that's good. Serena, you have
Yeah.
a husband who cooks. And I think that Sue Donnelly has a husband. Yeah, he's a chef. So he cooks all
very
the time,
nice.
apparently, at home. And yeah, like, you know,
Yeah.
those would probably be really good meals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My Lady Victoria, you're here. That's so good. Elizabeth said, Lisa is right. Morning to you. Yes, lunch. Damn, I thought I was right. But, you know, she's good. My mom hired a maid when my dad retired. I don't know why that strikes me as funny, but
was maid your dad?
my mom hired a maid when my dad retired. Yeah, that's probably true, right?
Yeah.
Your dad probably became the maid. It's possible. Anyway, this is such a great, cute conversation. Thank you all for being so personable. We have a stitch of the week, don't we?
We do.
And
Yeah.
I am introducing it into part 9 of this week's stitch
Mm-hmm.
along.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we should make it so that it's like a mystery stitch? We could. No, I don't think we should.
Could. No, I don't think. Yeah.
No.
No.
Because we're going to try and show you as best we can, because I know it's not such clear pictures that you see in this same stitch. Most of them are white on white that we're showing you, so it's going to be a little tough to see anyway. So first thing I'm going to do is show you I think this is the best one here, don't you? Because this one is like a bunch of it all at once, and we have shown this before this year, but we don't have a lot where we're showing the honeycomb stitch.
Honeycomb stitch.
Now this is a pulled stitch,
Mm-hmm.
and it fills this entire triangle here and all the other 3 triangles as well. So this is actually pretty good because you can see how it works. Each little cell looks a bit like a honeycomb. You can see the little cells here. So I'm going to show it to you like this so you can see the honeycomb stitch white on white. The reason I do white on white when I'm doing the honeycomb pulled stitch is because the pulling creates the lacy effect and opens up the holes in the linen. So if you're going to be doing that and you use a colored thread, the color of the thread is going to pull your attention away from what you really want the people to see, which is the openings to make it look lacy. So that's the reason I use the same color thread as the fabric. If it's white, use white. It's important also when you're doing the honeycomb stitch, when you're pulling, you pull medium hard. Not too hard because you want things to look like a little honeycomb. But also not too soft so that there's no lacy effect. And what was the other thing about the honeycomb stitch? I think that when you are doing it, you may also have the feeling that you shouldn't do it with floss. You should probably do it with a number 12 pearl cotton.
Yeah, especially if you're pulling, because you can also do a honeycomb that's not pulled as well.
That's right. Let's show that one. Because this is actually a really good example of the honeycomb stitch itself, which has even got bees on it in the Babe's Honey Farm. Do you see there? That is the exact right stitch. And in this case, there was no pulling, but I wanted to create a feeling of a honeycomb. What better stitch to use than the honeycomb stitch? So this one is actually also, I think this one is online. Is this? No, this one is not online.
No, I don't think so.
No, you're absolutely right. It isn't. However, this whole line is exactly what you will be seeing, except you'll be doing several more lines of honeycomb pulled stitch. And so this one with the gold thread this time is very pretty. It's not pulled. So you decide whether you want it pulled or not pulled. Okay, depends on what your effect is that you want. And we have shown the Babe's Honey Farm quite a few times.
Quite a few times.
So
it has a few different stitches in it. So And Tricia wants to know, that one was the Renaissance Lace box top.
Oh, yes. It goes together with this one.
The Renaissance Lace sampler.
Mhm.
And it also has honeycomb. Let's see if I can get close.
It's good. No, it's good. It's good. You can see some reflection, but
Yeah.
don't look at that. Just look
Yeah.
at the thing.
Exactly.
Tilt it forward a little bit. Oh, not that far. Okay, this is great. Yes, so the honeycomb stitch is right at the top here, just all the way along. And really it has created one series of cells.
Mm-hmm.
So you take your needle and you do part of all of the cells, and then you can return and do the rest of the cells. And the pattern itself is actually got 2 sets or 3 sets of cells. So you're going to discover that it's about this wide by the time you finish that.
I just want to show the rest of this because it has the heart, and it has some specialty stitches and a little bit of hearting are at the bottom. So that's the Renaissance Lace sampler.
Good morning, Carol Ann Johnston.
Good morning.
Tanya, you're here. Good for you. Thanks, Tricia.
And Milady, good morning. And then this is Crimson Fire. Also has glass on it. And the honeycomb, I think, is right there.
Okay, I'll show them this and see if I can angle it so that you can see Crimson Fire. The honeycomb stitch is right there. Now, this one is harder to see. First of all, there's glass on it. And secondly, I think it goes in and out of focus, and it's really hard to see where the honeycomb is.
Yeah, and that one's pulled quite a bit.
Yes,
actually.
It's pulled so much that there is almost no honeycomb left. But there's a lot of laciness in it, which I absolutely liked. And as far as the tension is concerned, I did it like that so that there would be this effect, this texture. Dorothy says she has the Renaissance lace. So good.
And the Act Pack, too. Yay!
You've done well. That's good.
And this is one of your earlier samplers.
Isn't this almost one of the... Oh, it is.
It's
okay.
leaflet number 4.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you can
it's
see
called
it.
Child of Spring.
It's very, very old. Child of Spring has some...
And it's...
Yeah, it's right up there.
Up top with beads.
Can you see the beads have been attached? I don't know if you can see that because, of course, it's difficult to know how clear your video feed is. But each one of these has a little bead attached. I'm going to see if I can angle it. No, there's no way I can angle it. It has a little bead right in the middle of each of the honeycombs. Same color, of course, because I was barely using color at that stage of my designing. There we go. Child of Spring has a beautiful little wreath and some beautiful white work, and also a vine with some little pink hearts and lots of pulled thread. This is pulled thread. This is pulled thread. And of course,
some hem stitching.
So is this. Yeah. Thank you. That was a really good one to get out.
I thought so. We haven't seen that one that often, so...
Let's see what Maria says. Un abbraccio. Let's see. She says, a hug.
Maria, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Louisa.
And Marie, is it? From
Mary.
From Sweden?
Yeah. Hiya from Sweden.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, wait a minute. It disappeared on me again.
It disappeared? Where did it go?
Where did it go? Oh, there you are.
There you go.
I must get up the courage to do one of my kits. That's a good idea.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, sometimes you get the feeling that you can't do something, and that can happen, and you open it up and you go, oh, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Absolutely.
But one morning, you can, don't start it, use a doodle cloth.
Yeah.
Do some of the, practice some of the stitches according to the directions and the diagram. Don't worry about where it is on your piece of fabric. Just try it. And I think that I learned that way. And I found that if I hadn't done that, I would have been terrified to start a design.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Because once you've started the design, you kind of feel like, oh, this is it. Especially if there's cut work. So try to do this, just the design stitches that you're not familiar or comfortable looking for you. And just use a doodle cloth.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to throw it out. It's not time wasted. It's time learning.
Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah.
Carol Ann says the same thing. I'm trying to learn new stitches and I have no idea where to start.
Just start.
Well, the where to start probably means that you don't have anything in particular to start.
Mm-hmm.
I do recommend, and I don't know if this is something that you want to do. We've had quite a few registrations lately for.
Our courses, online courses.
We have good online courses, and
Definitely.
I explain everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Not the cross stitch. I don't explain that.
No.
But so we do the cross stitch ahead of time, or I've had a model stitcher do all the cross stitch ahead of time. And then I start you off counting to where you start, where you bring up your needle, where you go down. And all of these are successively more difficult stitches. And there are 60 patterns altogether. So each class has 10 patterns that are included in the class. You have to get your own materials, but hey, you've got probably some leftover flosses that you can play with, or get yourself a little bit of pearl cotton if that's needed. And honestly, start with level 1. If you're already stitching on linen, just start with Beyond Cross Stitch, level 1.
Yeah.
And see how you like it. And it's a great place to start.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you just work your way from one to the next, and you think, oh my goodness, I didn't know I could do those things.
And they're nice little designs that they don't take that long to stitch.
No, you can actually make them as designs and make them for your next Christmas giveaway.
Yeah. Ornaments, they make beautiful ornaments.
Absolutely. So, Carol Ann, I challenge you. Take one course and see if you like it. You may have a really good feeling that you know then where you want to start.
Exactly. And the courses will be running now until the end of June.
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems that we're going to be able to continue them, but I wanted you all to know that we do limit them for now because we're not sure about our business plan. And our business plan is starting now. So as we develop it, the time that we are leaving the academy open will extend a little bit.
Absolutely.
But for now, it's June. It probably will go into August.
September,
exactly. Eventually.
Yeah. Probably increments of 3 months.
Yes, but the point is, you can do a lot with one course.
Absolutely.
Before June, the end of June.
And if you're not stitched on linen before, there is the introduction to cross stitching on linen as well.
Yeah, good point. Good point. A lot of people actually just take it as a refresher course.
Yes.
Dorothy Wendell, I have this one too. The Renaissance Vase. Yay, Tanya.
Excuse me.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I didn't know you could see the beads. That's great to know. Not everybody can, but you can. That's good. Milady, yes, you're here too. Margaret Andrews says, oh, I like the honey sampler. What's it called again?
It's called Babe's Honey Farm. And it was a lot of fun to stitch.
It really was. We'll show you the whole thing if you like. The honey, Babe's Honey Farm sampler is named after a actual honey farm that is in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I think it's still available. I think it's still there. But way long time ago, a woman called Babe lived in an area, and she thought she could have some bees, and she ended up making this incredible business out of her honey, and she called her honey Babe's Honey. Yeah. So that's why I called it this. That's the top, and then there's the little people are gathering the honey with their little masks on. Life is the flower for which love is the honey. And at the bottom, of course, there is the place where she's selling her honey. Isn't that great? And I think she's even made mead on the far side.
Have you ever had mead?
Yes.
It's quite good.
It's yum. It's a little too sweet now, but
it is. Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. It's more like a aperitif or, after dinner drink.
Dessert drink.
Dessert drink.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like late harvest wine or ice wine or something like that.
Judy says, get a binder and put all practice doodle cloth in it. It becomes your reference. Judy, what a wonderful idea. And if you get a binder with like scrapbook pages that have pockets, you can just dump them in. You don't have to like glue them in or anything. Yes. So you can take them out and look at the back and stuff. Lunch is over. Have a wonderful day yourself. We did say goodbye, so hopefully you're still there. Carol Ann says, nice idea, thank you. Pat Hankey also says, Beyond Cross Stitch courses are going to order number 5. And you are going to order them.
Way to go, Pat.
You have done so many, Pat. I am so proud of you for going through them step by step by step.
Yeah.
What are you doing with all your little pieces? Or are they all doodle cloths for you? It'd be interesting to find out.
They make really cute little pillows.
They do.
I mean, I've made a few cute little pillows.
You have made some excellent pillows. In fact, do we have some in the back? I think we do in the Beyond Cross Stitch.
We might have some, but I've got a couple at home that I added lace to and buttons to. You
have them at home now?
I have them at home,
Okay,
I should bring them in next time.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. Have a look and see whether we can show that one. What linen is Babe's Honey Farm stitched on, says Tanya. This one is now discontinued.
Golden sand?
It's golden sand.
Yeah, I think it's discontinued now, that color.
But it used to be golden sand. Now it's golden sand light. I think that's still there.
Yeah, there is a golden sand light or light sand or something like that.
And that's a Swigart linen. But that linen, if this particular linen appeals to you, I bet you can get that color from some other supplier.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful, warm, honey-colored.
Yeah, and for some reason, Swigart still dyes a lot of the colors in 32 count that they don't dye in 28 count.
Right. They can all think that we have all these great eyes.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, no, 28 count is better than 32.
Well, it's better for me anyway, that's for sure.
For me, too.
I kind of find it harder now to look at the 32. But
yes, I do as well.
Pat Henke. Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say Martha Barba says, hello, Thea and Lisa.
Hello, Martha.
Good to see you. Pat says, I turned some into pillows and coasters. Oh, that is so
very
cute.
Nice.
I'm so glad you're using them. Okay, do we have any other patterns? Yes, we
probably do. Yeah.
Part of the honeycomb band in today's stitch along pattern that I'm releasing as part 9 is that you do this honeycomb stitch and that you then use it as a trellis and add some silk ribbon flowers to it. Now, if you're not used to silk ribbon, and you've never stitched with silk ribbon before, you can order some online.
Yes.
Then I would suggest you take level 2 of Beyond Cross Stitch in our academy. It gives you all the stitches you're ever going to probably need, or at least gives you all the techniques, which, you put your needle on the ribbon a certain way and you knot it, and it's just a completely different fiber to work with. So I would really recommend Beyond Cross Stitch Level 2 for any silk ribbon work you want to use.
Definitely. And silk ribbon is fun to use. It doesn't have to be as precise as counted work. It's a little more freeing.
It is. It's free form, that's for sure. And you need to make it so that you ignore the honeycomb pulled stitch entirely. You know it's there, it's a trellis, and you use it to put some silk flowers on.
Absolutely.
And I have an example. Even though this is not the honeycomb stitch,
no.
The trellis in behind, I ignored and put some silk ribbon flowers on in the summer box. This summer box turned out just beautifully thanks to Lisa's expert finishing. But as you can see, these silk flowers were stitched on no matter what happened underneath.
Yeah.
And because there was a fair bit of stitching, etc., I had to be very careful to make sure that every time I pushed the needle through, I wasn't also pushing it through the silk ribbon that was already there. So that's the main thing to remember when you're making flowers. Come up in a hole and make sure there's nothing else there for your needle to go through, because when you're pulling that silk ribbon through, it won't go through other silk ribbon.
Okay? You'll end up catching and pulling the stitch before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So always just gently put your needle from the bottom up and make sure that you move any stitches that may be in the way. Or if you're pushing it down, remember to also check underneath. Make sure that you find a place where it's free to go through.
Exactly. There's a lot of turning it over backwards to make sure you're not catching something.
Exactly. But then you get something like that, which to me anyway is just wonderful. I just loved doing that. Is there any other? Yes, there's another silk ribbon that I wanted to show you that is also on a kind of trellis, even though it's not pulled. It is a trellis of some sort. And it's at the top of the sweet pea sampler gazebo.
Yes.
Sweet pea gazebo.
That's right.
Now look at all of the silk ribbon flowers there, and look how they're created. There's about 5 Japanese ribbon stitches around one bead. That's it. And each one comes up in a separate hole. Each of the Japanese ribbon stitches. And look, the Japanese ribbon stitches also make green leaves. So there's really absolutely nothing to this whole stitching of the clematis vine except Japanese silk ribbon stitches.
Yeah.
So, and then over here I did the same thing but smaller, and that's the sweet peas over here, this little vine here. So when you're doing your silk ribbon, when and if you do your silk ribbon, make sure that you have actual pure silk ribbon, not rayon, because that'll run. Yeah. And use short lengths. And my feeling is put a few flowers on it. It doesn't even have to be the whole band. It can be just some silk ribbons on the side.
Exactly.
Right?
Or in the middle. Or
in the middle, or some over here and a few over on the other side. So use your imagination. If you're going to use silk ribbon, it'll be fun. Trust me. And if you don't know how to do it and you want to learn, please go to our website and sign up for a course called Beyond Cross Stitch Level 2.
Level 2,
which all those stitches are with silk ribbon.
Yeah.
So you'll learn the stitches and how to handle silk ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay, I know there's a whole bunch of people.
Put that back over there.
I am. Okay.
Exactly. And I think, was it Marley or?
Let me just go up and check things out.
Agni.
Okay, can you substitute silk ribbon to satin one? No. No. It's not the same.
Satin ribbon is quite a bit thicker and it won't perform.
No, it will fold and be gentle. You can't do the Japanese silk ribbon stitch with satin ribbon. So don't even try it. Yeah. The only thing you can do is come up and go down.
Exactly.
And if that's what you want to do, no problem. Yeah. You can try it. Work it on a little doodle cloth if you want to, just to see what it looks like. And if you like it, absolutely fine. Renee says, I just ordered level 2. Oh, yay. Look at that. Good for you. That is really good because one of the things about silk ribbon is that it is juxtaposed with the rigidity of our counting. Yes. And you know, we counted work people we love this counting because everything looks really good, regimented and clear and organized.
I'm a counter.
I do too.
I actually pre-count everything, so before I even start, I have it all basted and I know exactly where I'm starting, where I'm ending, and where the middle is.
And because that's what we're used to, when we look at our silk ribbon, we think, ugh, how gross is this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially under a magnifying glass.
Yeah. Step away from it.
Step away from the stitching.
Step away from it, put it far away and look at it from
a distance.
And
I believe also, and I think this is very good advice, no matter what, do a couple of stitches in the corner to see what size of leaf you want. Yeah. If you're doing the Japanese ribbon stitch, you may, at first do great big ones, and that might be too big. So cut them out, start again, or do them on the side of your fabric just to
practice
be sure.
On the side.
Yeah, a couple of little stitches. I'm so glad, Renee, that you've ordered level 2. You are going to love it.
Definitely.
Oh, and finally, you can use, with silk ribbon, you can use a chenille needle, number 9, is it?
Chenilles are the same as tapestry needles. So you would use like a number 24 chenille
or 26.
Or 26 chenille. Yeah, I would go with 26 because it won't leave as big of a hole as the 24.
But the 24 will prepare the hole so that you can pull your silk ribbon through. So try both.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it has a sharp point.
Yes.
So you may also be able to use, and I always use this, is a 26 tapestry needle. Because the linen already has holes, I'm not too worried about having to have a pointed needle.
Yes.
But the one thing I love about chenille needles is they're longer, right? And they're also much better for other materials.
Yes.
Like if you're not working on linen, and
Yeah,
you're working on
yeah.
cloth of some
A
sort.
cotton or a
Yes.
satin
Or like Yvonne did on a
yeah,
denim.
or denim, definitely.
Or on a wool or
Yeah.
any kind of other
Mhm.
fabric, you would probably want to have a sharp needle. Okay, that was a really good thing. Thank you for showing me again. I love honey, by the way. Oh, Margaret. I love honey too. It's so delicious. Mine cooks and cooks well. Oh,
Oh,
milady.
lucky you.
Yes, congratulations. Thread art, Carrie.
I've never heard of thread art before. I'll have to look them up.
Website, thread art. Excellent. Thank you.
You're not late. You've joined us. Thank you.
Quilter P. Lewis. I wonder what your first name is. I'm guessing it might
Pat?
be Patricia or Pat. That's just a guess. But anyway, you're a quilter, and I'm so glad you're here. Louisa Sharp, I have used white silk ribbon for flowers, etc. And you can color with alcohol markers in different shades of the color of your choice.
Never heard of that.
Do the alcohol marker ink, does that come off on the rest of the design?
Yeah.
You must know because you've used it before, so it'd be great to hear. Thank you, Louisa. Renee says, what's the best size of silk ribbon do you recommend? 4 millimeters is really good for this pattern. And you'll see it's really only about this. Let's see if you can see my hand. It's about, well, it's 4 millimeters.
Yeah.
We've also used 7, right?
We've used 7. I think there's some silk ribbon, like Treenway, which is a company, their silk ribbon is 3.5.
That's right. It's even smaller, which can be very particularly pretty, like petite. That's the word. And so we use primarily 4 millimeter or 3.5 or 4 millimeter, and the reason is because my designs are relatively miniature. But depends on what you want to use it for. There's the 4, there's the 7, and there's 13.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty much the size range.
I think so. I was just trying to think if there was a 9, but I don't think there is. I think it's 7, and it goes up to like a 13.
And Dinky Dyes, I'm not sure if they're still available. Dinky Dyes also creates silk ribbon.
Yep.
As does Gloriana.
Hand dyed silk ribbon, beautiful silk ribbon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see. I used to do silk ribbon on heirloom dresses.
Ooh, beautiful.
Oh,
yes.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Dorothy says, Thea, is there a right and wrong way to measure the height and width on the linen, or doesn't it matter which way you go? I hope this question makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
And yes, there is.
Lisa can answer.
I always cut the length of the linen according to the selvage. The
selvage needs to be on the sides.
Yeah, the selvage needs to be on the side.
And that way you'll have the good proportions. Because if you do it this way, if you're doing a long sampler, the selvage needs to be on the side. If you're doing a wide sampler, the selvage needs to be on the side. So to keep it upright, put the selvage on the side.
Yeah.
If it's a square sampler and it can be any which way because it's a box top or something, well, who cares?
Yeah.
It's going to go one way or the other. But I always find it easier to stitch with the selvage on the side.
Yes, me too.
Let's see. Louisa, you must be careful just to delicately touch what you want to color. Okay. Yeah. And then let it dry, I suppose. Yes. Thread art carries 2, 4, 7, and 13.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 as well. Cool. Thanks, Janet.
2 millimeter. Ooh, never done.
No, I've never done that. And Jennifer says the ink does not come off. Oh, good. I used that technique on a quilt. Thank you. Always good because I love hand painted, hand dyed anything. I think it'd be really fascinating to use.
We'll have to see if we can order some.
Yeah. What's it called again? What's it called? Let's see. Alcohol markers.
Okay. Alcohol markers.
So an alcohol marker, I wonder what kind that would be.
I wonder what kind of alcohol.
Is it wine?
I know, I'm just kidding. Don't drink the pen.
Jane Style says, I love the thread on spools, no creases. So that's from Thread Art. Thank you. You mentioned Thread Art several times, so people will buy it if they want to. I don't think there's anything else except no, I think I'll leave this one.
You're gonna leave that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice, but it kind of goes off topic a little bit. And that's it, I think.
What about are you gonna mention what we're auctioning this week? Or
yes, good point. We're going to be auctioning this beautiful Sweet pea gazebo. This
Yeah.
is the one we're going to be auctioning this way.
I'm laughing at Louisa. You cannot drink them.
Yeah, Lisa can do a lot, actually.
And trust me, I wouldn't drink them anyways. I'm not much of a drinker.
She drinks like twice a year or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I think I drink more than you.
You probably do.
And I drink like 3 times a year.
Yeah. I don't drink that often at
But
all.
you and I have drunk before when we were young.
Well,
Over drunk.
Over drank. Yeah.
My first husband was quite the realtor drinker kind. So we'd go to these conventions and we'd be drinking, and you were living in Port Alberni, and you'd go with your friends to the bar.
To the cabaret in the early 80s. Wow. Crazy, crazy times.
But we don't anymore.
No.
We find that we like our heads to remain
I
relatively
prefer to wake up and not feel like I'm going to die. Sorry.
Anyway, so this is the, you've already seen this. This is the sweet pea gazebo, and the gazebo is lovely. And then these are all the specialty stitches that are on there. And of course, one of my favorite verses, all things bright and beautiful, all great creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. This design is really close to my heart, and I hope that the auction goes well, and we're going to put that up in a little while.
Yeah.
It'll probably be up in a couple of hours. So thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful.
We didn't have an auction last week, so
I know.
Yeah.
I got too sick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you weren't well enough to do that.
The last thing I wanted to do was create the picture and put it all up.
Take the picture and
Yeah. Tricia says alcohol ink and markers commonly used in paper crafts these days. Okay, so going to Michael's sounds like then you just ask for alcohol ink pens, right? Okay. Sylvie Thibodeau, hello. Action Beauty. Thank you. Louisa Sharp says beautiful. Thank you. I think what you meant was the auction beauty.
Oh.
And,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I didn't get it until I just realized, oh yeah, it's about the auction. Sorry.
I like action beauty anyways.
That's you. You're the action beauty.
I'm the action beauty. Energizer bunny.
You guys are just so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us. I did want to say one more thing. We talked about this early on in the stream today, and you and I talked about it quite a bit yesterday. I was just empathizing what it felt like when I first started to add color to my pieces.
Yes. Yeah.
And right at the beginning, I just wanted texture. I loved all the stitches, and I was kind of shy for using my own colors. And so whatever color I used, I just love the softness because it didn't kind of glare out at me.
Yeah.
Literally, I was pretty much afraid of using color. And gradually, I think you remember, I came in to talk to you, and I said, I think I need to use more color.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Because if you look at the first almost 18 designs, it was very pale.
Yeah. Pastel.
Yeah.
Like plus.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess Crimson Fire was your first into having a lot of color.
Yes. And actually, I started the elements with, I think I started with...
Crystal Waters was the first one.
Exactly.
But it was kind of white with a little bit of blue.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I was using more blue, but it was still fairly pastel. And then as I did the other ones, I thought, well, what the heck? I'm here now, and fire is not pastel, gotta do it.
Yeah, the Crimson Fire really popped with color, and same with Green Earth.
Yeah.
The nice green.
So, I just wanted you to know that when you're doing the stitch along, using your own colors, I am empathizing with those of you who not only are not used to choosing your own colors, but and you're beginners, but also people who are used to changing colors but never really started from scratch.
Yeah.
And there was a wonderful post in one of the past few days. Someone mentioned that what they did was they took a previous palette from one of my designs.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
And someone else also used one from another design because they kind of felt comfortable using those colors. First of all, they're probably packaged together. But also they knew that the designer had chosen them, so they knew, and they felt more confident using those.
And then she added some extra colors.
Exactly. So it's a wonderful way to get into using colors. But then I asked Lisa, so how Because she's not done any of the stitch alongs except a little bit of one at the top.
A little bit at stay at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I asked her, how did you feel? How did you feel?
It was a little daunting, but I over the years I have dabbled with changing colors for a few things. Like peaches and cream I didn't do in the peaches. But, I did mine in pinks. So I've done a little bit of that. But, yeah, that's probably why I've only got a little bit done.
It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want you to know that I empathize and admire anyone, and I genuinely mean this, anyone who decides themselves what to choose for this kind of creative design that I've been making. I'm so proud to see how many beautiful renditions there are.
Definitely.
And I've said it before. I mean, we just both of us just love looking to see what have they done now?
No, that's the highlight is to, and I don't always comment, but I do try to like it or something like that, because there's some beautiful renditions.
There are, and there's lots of people who may not have the feeling that they know what they're doing, and yet the result is there. It's beautiful. So your particular journey into choosing your own colors can start at the very beginner level. You could be like at a place where a good idea is to choose a bunch of colors from a pillow pattern, or like on the outside of this. These are the colors I used. Can you see?
Yeah.
These are the colors I decided to use after I saw this gorgeous finishing fabric. Yes. And I've done that many times where I just look to see if there is a picture that I like that's in my house or even online. Use those colors. Just get into using colors that appeal to you in other areas of life. And then start using your own. And the reason that I say that is because it's easy to stay comfortable, with someone else's choices. But if you start choosing your own colors, you'll be surprised how hard it is and how satisfying.
Yeah. And so it opens up a whole new dimension to stitching.
It really does. And it is, you're partly into designing. Yeah. So what's great about that is there is nothing wrong, and there is no bad choices. Yeah. There's no police. There's nothing. And I want you all to know that you're in a safe space here. You can show off your stitching in whatever form it is, whether you find it nice or not. In fact, I would suggest if you don't like it, put it up and see. Yeah. You'll find that other people do.
Will like it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the stages that I go through when I'm designing any piece, which you know very well, is 3/4 or 7/8 of the way through a piece. I hate it.
You don't like it. Yes.
I just hate it. Yeah. I just have this aversion. I don't want to look at it. Yeah. And so finishing those is harder for me than when I'm starting. There's all the possibilities still there.
Yeah. But by the time you get to the end, it's like,
yeah. And then I look at it, 2 weeks later, and I'm like, hey,
absolutely.
That's not so bad.
Pretty good.
So give yourself some space to make mistakes or to just do something that you really like. And if you find that you don't like it, just take it out. Yeah. You can't do that with cut work, but that's pretty much the only way it would be difficult.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to unstitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think that analyzing and seeing what you like and what you don't like is the joy that I find in my designing stitching career. And I was hoping that, just like you go to Home Hardware for do-it-yourself. Yeah. Do it yourself.
Do it yourself. Yeah.
It's too much fun. Thank you, Danciu. Very sweet of you. Susanna, how are you? I hope that you're fine. I haven't talked to you for quite a while. I hope over there in Europe you're doing okay. It's very scary for all of us, and I empathize. Love your necklace, Thea, says Tanya. Oh, thank you.
What necklace are you wearing today? I'm wearing something, the blue one.
Yes. Something that matches. Thank you. Brenda Leclerc, goodbye. Have a peaceful weekend to you too. Sylvie says, my problem is thinking going out of the box with colors, using same colors. Yes, it's okay. I use same colors too. And then what I like doing is choosing one color that I've not used before. Yeah. Just, have a little bit of faith in yourself. Buenas tardes. That's great. Thank you. Aw, Louise, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jeanette, it's so nice to have you here. Louise Fossa, you are welcome. And I have to say that Carol Ann is starting the year in stitches. Excellent. Yay. Good to hear. Jennifer likes that. Thank you, Sylvie. Typo. Okay. It's okay, Sylvie. Auction. Well, all of you, I really wanted to just talk about that a little bit. The choices that people are making are just, they're surprising, they're colorful, they're amazing.
Absolutely.
And anyone who participates is to be commended because it is really hard to put yourself out there. Yeah. And you may be participating, but not showing. Yes. So I encourage you to show. Don't be afraid. Almost everyone I know is appreciative of the talent, but not just the talent. It's the gumption. Yeah. To actually do something like that and show it is really hard. So I encourage you because it gets better. It does. And we were also talking about how we were wondering how many people are actually stitching the souvenir. That's right. Yeah. I think even a year in stitches. When we finish here, I want to make a poll and hopefully I can do this correctly because this is a new interface. Facebook changed. But we do want to find out how many people have done the year in stitches completed. Yeah. And by the way, I went through all of the media, all of the pictures and everything, and I've copied a whole bunch into my folders now, which is great. And we want to know how many are doing this 4-month
the souvenir sampler.
Exactly. It would be really nice to see you answering and how many people are showing. Yes. Because I have a funny feeling there's more people doing than showing. There's more people stitching it than what we know because they're not showing their work. It's possible. And in any case, no matter which category you fall in, you don't have to be at all worried because, you know, this is I keep saying it, it's a safe space. Absolutely. We're all appreciative of you all being here and hopefully you do lots more stitching in the years to come. Yeah. Okay, that's it, I think. That's it? Okay. Let's see what Jeanette Arizmendi is doing. Greetings from Colombia. Bogota. Yeah. City? It's good to see you, Jeanette, but we're just leaving. So unfortunately, it is not 9:30. It's 10:30 here. So we start at 9:30. So we've started an hour ago. Yeah. So I'm sorry, but do come back next week, Friday. An hour earlier. An hour earlier. It's wonderful to see you, Jeanette. Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to have to end the live video right over here, right? It's time to go. It is time. It's time to get on with the daily work. The rest of the day. Yeah. Love you all. Till next week. Bye-bye. See you next week. Bye.